Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be something that's more of a reminder for myself, because even though I know this and even though I've practiced trying to do this, I still struggle with it sometimes. And that is, what does it mean to be a friend? So I'm the kind of person that for some reason I've been struggling with friends, and I know this is super personal. I don't want to get too much into it, but it feels like after, let's say, college, like my friends kind of went downhill, and I blame this for a lot of factors. Of course, the biggest factor would be myself, but I feel like a lot of people are also struggling with this. So I'm gonna make a video on what it means to be a friend, and this is something that I honestly I just need to make a video of, because by giving it a structure, I can also look at it in the future and say, okay, this is what it actually means to be a friend. A lot of us aren't really good at this stuff. A lot of us mess this up a lot of times, because humans are naturally, we care about others, but as long as it somehow benefits us, right? For example, a reason a person has a child is not only because they want to protect something, but they also want to feel the satisfaction of taking care of a child. The reason you want a girlfriend is because you want to feel like you own somebody, even though, in a way, you're also trying to protect that person and wish the best for them. That's why if you ever see guys, they tend to be very protective around their girlfriends. It's because if they want to own it, but they also want to take care of it. It's just one of these things that, we humans just do. We like owning stuff, even if it's other people, beliefs, or whatever. And being a friend is not ownership. That's the biggest thing, as we want to personalize things and make them our own, right? We want to take something, we want to digest it, kind of translate it into our world, and then spit it out. But when people are looking for a friend, what does it mean? What does it mean looking for a friend? Well, a friend is simply an extension of that person's current emotion. If you ever notice, the reason you become friends with somebody is because there's something that they have or something they do that you, in your some way or form, find interesting or find relatable. Therefore, you're able to form a connection with that person. But what is the connection itself? The connection is, oh, that person has an emotion similar to mine, or interests that are similar to mine, so we can make something together. We can connect and form a friendship, right? And believe it or not, this is the hardest thing to do. Is the first part, because at the first stage, it's kind of like there's a little bit of tension. You don't know the person, so you have nothing to relate to, even though ironically the beginning of something is actually the most. You can branch off so many different ways from the beginning, yet people still find the most tension in the start. Let's say you're looking at a girl at a restaurant or a coffee shop. You have so many ways to say hi, and yet you're just like, oh, you just go and hide. You go and hide your phone, right? You have so much opportunity. You have so many paths, yet you always mess up the beginning. And with friendships, it's the same thing, right? You have the most abundance of possibilities you can take, yet you end up just not taking it. You miss the shot, you miss the opportunity, and the next thing you know, then you regret it. Or you don't regret it because it's such a small part of your life, you don't even think about it, but you kind of secretly do. But yeah, with friendships, what I'm trying to say is that what people want from a friend is an extension of their emotions. They want an extension of something they want to feel. So if somebody comes at you and they tell you something, they don't want your opinion of it. They don't want what you think of it. You want them to simply. They want you to simply accept whatever they're feeling. That's why if you just simply shut up and just listen to what somebody's trying to tell you, and you just listen and pay attention, and you give verbal cues or physical cues that you're actually paying attention, you're not just on your phone not looking at them, you actually sit down and you actually pay attention, you're gonna realize that you don't have to do much. All you have to do is just listen. And the next thing you know, for that person, because you listen to them, because you try to understand them and try to extend what they're feeling, validate it, the next thing you know, they think you're the best person ever, and you're the best friend, and you didn't do anything. You didn't do jack anything. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So for me, and this might be helpful. So for me, and for those people that are also watching this, that this might be useful for, what people want from a friend is, they just want an extension of what they're feeling. They want an extension of their beliefs, of their interests. They want something they could regurgitate something, and then they bring it back with the same amount of energy, if not more energy, that is positive to them. So they don't want a teacher They don't want a boss. They don't want like a competitor, competitor, whatever you say. They don't want something that refutes their beliefs. They want something that accepts their beliefs, even if you don't agree with it. Like, yeah, you might find it stupid, or you might find it dumb, but that's not how you make a friend. That's how you like repel a friend in the other way. Or the next thing they hate you, or they don't like you. You're like, well, what happened? Why don't they like me? Well, because you didn't accept their beliefs. You didn't validate them. All you did was just reject them and shove your belief or your opinion on their faces. And nobody wants that. Nobody cares about your beliefs. Nobody cares about what you say. All they care about is how you make them feel, or what you did makes them feel. And that's something I have to learn to this day, because I blame the biggest reason I blame me not having friends to this day, even though I do, but I just don't feel like I do. It's because I just suck at being a friend. And I think most of us do, but the people that are really good at forming connections, they understand this truth. They understand that what people want is just a extension of whatever they're feeling, of whatever their thoughts are, at whatever their opinions are, or whatever they like. If they like something, they want an extension of that. That's why if you if you ever look into a fan base, what is the fan base about? It's an extension of that person's belief. Oh yes, this character is better than this character, or this character can go to this character. Or even when you go into invest things, like if you go to investments, you buy a stock, and what do? You start looking at other people's belief of the stock. Oh, this is going to 100. Oh, this is going to 200. You're looking for an extension of that belief. And the same thing is with friends, and you can apply this to so many fields in your life. You can apply this to your networkings. So if you're trying to like make connections with a person for business, just let them talk. Ask them questions that are an extension of whatever they're feeling. You try to find a link, a spark. A spark would be something that, hey, how long have you been in this business for? Or how long have you worked here? Or what made you get started on this field? And once you find that spark, you just extend it and extend it and extend it. And the next thing you know, all you're doing is just doing this and say hi, and you're regurgitating. Oh my goodness, regurgitating their emotion back to them, and they are eating it up. Like, yeah, you're the best. That's literally the biggest thing I realized from not having friends. And also, it's how I realized that thanks to this, I've been able to find so many opportunities at work, and so many traveling buddies and stuff like that. It's crazy just what simply shutting up and learning to be a friend can do. And I know this is a weird video, I know it's a short video, but I just wanted to get this out because you need to understand this. You need to remember this. This isn't going to be a fancy edited video or anything like that. You need to just simply understand that, to be a friend is to simply be an extension of whatever that person's feeling. Whatever is that person saying. If that person says something you don't like, you might not like it. That's fine. But do you have to go out and just boss them around, or teach them around, or correct them? No. You can say, okay, that belief is strong. What made you think about that belief? And you're going to realize that it's not even the belief. It's just the emotion the belief gives them. I actually seen these a lot. If you ever go to Reddit and stuff like that, there's people that don't actually care about whatever they're saying, but they want to get a reaction of the people because that's what makes them happy. They just love seeing their emotions validated. That's what rage bit is. That's what, being controversial is. All this stuff. It's just people wanting to get an emotion validated. And if you could do that, you know what it means to be a friend. You have learned the secret to friendship. Heck, and not only that, you found the secret to also making deep connections with people. Because in reality, just connections are basically 70% talking and then 30% listening. Or the other way around, 70% listening and 30% talking. At least in the beginning. At the beginning, remember, there's a balance of power. And what you want to do is you want to give them all the power, and then you want to slowly start balancing it out. Some of them will help you out. Some of them will actually naturally want to balance it out. But most people at first, they want to have the power, and then they want to simmer it down. This is how it works. So yeah, I just want to make a short video on this, guys. I am currently traveling to another state. I'm going to make a video on this soon as to why I'm traveling, because things have been rough in the job market. And I want to make a video on that, but that has to do with economics. I know a lot of you aren't interested in that. My economy, whatever you say, economy videos are not doing great. So I'm going to probably just make a video on that and then stop. And I'm just going to focus on what works, which is the traveling, which is the shorts, and these videos, which, to be fair, I don't see many people do videos like this anymore. Now they're all just negative stuff, man. I want to see more positivity on YouTube. and not like toxic positivity, because there's this stupid positivity that doesn't do anything. I think this is like the old school YouTube where you came out of it as a better person. Because I remember watching these old videos and I always came out feeling happier and feeling like, yes, I can do this, I can do better after this, you know. But nowadays these videos just don't make me feel anything. I just kind of feel like empty after watching them, like, oh my god. Or even worse, you feel like, ah, well, my life is bad but theirs is worse. I blame Khaled Hammer for that stuff, man. I just you know, if you're screwed, why do you have to watch other people being more screwed than you? It just gives you an extension of a validation. Oh, my life is bad but theirs is worse, you know. But anyway, I'm getting out of topic. So thank you so much for watching this short video. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give it a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.